What's up, guys? What's going on? I'm Paul. This is Pauline Theology's daily devotional, and we're going to the book of John. Glad you're here. Glad you're studying with us because John gives a beautiful look into who Jesus is as we get to see Jesus showing us who the Father is and then explaining to us also the Spirit. We find this all in the book of John. So it's a beautiful, wonderful book for us to be going through. And if you're going through it with us, man, we're so glad you're doing it because we hope that it's going to help you trust in Jesus more. As we see the character of Jesus, as he displays the beauty and wonder of God and the Holy Spirit, then we know more about them. As we know more about them, man, then we can begin to trust them even more because we see why they are infinitely worthy of trust. So, again, if you don't know Jesus, I hope that you begin to see his wonderful character and nature. And if you do know Jesus, man, I hope this opens to you a new and wonderful view and perception of who Jesus is. So check out John chapter 8, verses 48 through 50. If you haven't read yet, go ahead, stop the tape, check it out, see what it has to say. If you have read, we're going to dive right on into the scriptures. So the first question is, what's going on? Well, earlier we've got the thing where Jesus is speaking to them about truth, and that he doesn't speak lies, but that it is Satan who speaks these lies and murders. And matter of fact, he's still doing it to us today, as we said, that he's whispering these lies that surely you won't die. Surely you won't die. But then Jesus ends by saying the reason that they can't recognize or understand or hear his words, listen to his words, follow his words, is because they're not from God. They're not from God. And their father is actually Satan. And so it's so crushing to see that. But now we're going to see what the response is of the Jews. We're going to see what the response is of these leaders of the Judaism in that time. They say this. They say, you are a Samaritan, man. They say, you got a demon. That's the thing that they say because they want to attack Jesus already because of the things that he says. And Jesus ain't going to be shamed. He's not going to be attacked, man. He answers this. He says, nah, that's not me. Because ultimately, when they're saying as a Samaritan or a demon, well, ultimately, what he's saying when he says a Samaritan is alluding to that demon part. And that demon possession says, like we talked about earlier, is that he's not in his right mind. He's crazy. He's insane. And maybe even possibly that he truly does have a demon because he is trying to, what is written about in the scriptures is that they're trying to pull away the people of Israel from worship of the one true God. And so if he is trying to do that, then that means that he must be in service to demons. He must be in service to Satan. He must be in service to the evil and sin that has corrupted this world. But Jesus emphatically denies that because what he says is that he's honoring the Father, man. And that when they say something like this, it dishonors him. It's almost as like in one of the other gospels, whenever the people say that he casts out or does these good works based on Satan because he is a part of the demonic forces of the world. It is kind of like them saying that to him at this moment. They say that all he does and all he seeks to do is honor the Father, but they dishonor him. And by saying so, matter of fact, it's also saying that they are dishonoring the Father because exactly the things the Father desires, wants, displayed and shown to the world is what Jesus is doing. So in any way that they dishonor Jesus, they're dishonoring the Father. And in the same way, this application here, I'm jumping in a little bit, but when we dishonor Jesus, we dishonor the Father. When we say something or deny something or add to something that is not what the will of Jesus would have been, then we are dishonoring the Father. Anyway, he continues to say this. He's like, man, I don't seek my own glory. And he says this because it's not about him receiving glory for the things that he's done. It's about God receiving the glory. And the implication of this is that when we seek our own glory, when we look to give ourselves the woo and the awe and the coolness factor, then what happens is we're denying the one who deserves the glory. Therefore, again, we are dishonoring the Father. And so Jesus continues and says, the one who seeks, there is one who wants to give glory to Jesus. And he says, and that one is the judge. That one is the judge. And then next time we come back, we're going to see the judgment and what it is. But what is this saying about God here? Well, first off, there is a judge that is over us and will make a verdict. And I know many times in the scriptures here, especially in John that we're reading, it talks about God coming into this world in the flesh as Jesus, not to judge the world. But we've also seen again that he is the one who judges, and it's not based on his judgment, but based on the judgment of the Father. And so again, we have that here. There is one who seeks the glory of God, but he is the judge as well. And that is the Father who hands it over to the Son. But there is a judge, and we will be judged. And ultimately, there's one who gives glory. And so the one who gives the glory is the one who is deserving of the glory. The Father gives the glory, and he gives it to the Son. Yet, what is amazing about this is that not only does Jesus receive glory, but we receive glory as well as we begin to do the things of the Father. As we begin to walk like Jesus and bring glory to the Father, then God brings glory to us. That's what's is pretty amazing about the situation. But it is not in the fact that we seek our own glory that this happens. And so God gives the glory. He's the ultimate one who can distribute glory because all of the glory is his alone. What's this say about man? Is that, man, we seek our own glory. Naturally, as human beings broken from the fall, we seek our own glory. We want to be the champs. We want to sit on the throne. It is our show. We are the star. But that ain't how it is. That's not how it is. So ultimately, we all seek our own glory. And secondly, we ultimately all want to dishonor God. We all want to dishonor Jesus. That's what we seek to do because we don't want to hear the truth. And we talked about that in the last episode a bit, is that the truth is harsh and we don't want to hear it. We don't want to hear it. And finally, that's what we do as men, is we shame those that speak against us. You know, and we've talked about this in many times, and we see this reflection continue to be shown through the people of Israel, the leaders, as well as just regular old folks, is they all name call, they all dishonor, as Jesus says, Jesus, because of the things that he's saying, the truth that he's saying. That's tough on us. And so we do the same thing, and we need to watch ourselves on that. And that's the application today. Well, there's more than just that, but that's a first application that we can see real quick, is the fact that when someone comes at us, whether it's true or not, we need to be careful, especially as Christians, to not attack their character, attack who they are, just because they're saying something to us. We do that often, man, as just human beings. That's just a part of who we are because of sin nature, and we should make sure we do that. So are you doing that? In your actions that you take towards the people that you congregate around, when they speak truth to you, or if they speak lies, how do you respond? Secondly, man, and this is probably the most important one, is where are you seeking glory? Are you seeking glory for yourself? Is it all about the Paul show? the you show? Or is it about the Jesus show? Is everything that we do seeking to bring honor and glory to the name of God? So today, practice that. Be mindful as you walk through all of the things that you care about in your day. Am I bringing God glory in this? Or am I seeking my own glory? I appreciate you guys for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode.